Hi, everyone. You've got an hour. Welcome to the podcast. This is Adam Griffin. Wow, it sounds like I'm on 60 Minutes or something, doesn't it? It's a miracle that's the same amount of time that this show is, as is most broadcasting things. I've got a topic today that we're going to get into in a second, but I want to start off with a little bit lighter. Okay. We have gotten some rave reviews, first and foremost from my father. Thank you so much for enjoying the new format of the show. We love that you're part of the show. You have a great segment. Please continue to do it. Now, with that said, and don't say anything to Mom, because I know you're listening, Dad. LaFaye always has something to say, but does she have something to hear? Yes, she does. And more on this after the break. Because I might be chopping up her segment today so that she has something to complain about. Because I don't know that she's listened to this podcast in a couple of episodes. And given that she is part of the podcast, I want to make sure that she's liking her own segment, let alone that she likes the reformatting. I've asked her on 2 occasions, and she has been aloof about it. She would make an excellent politician for that reason. Also, her viewpoints on things are amazing, and I would definitely vote for her. That was a compliment? Shadily, with a smile. Because Linda, are you listening? Hello? Linda, Linda, Linda. Listen, as that little boy said so iconically all those years ago on the internet. Now, I have to say, yes, there's a holiday ongoing right now. And whether you celebrate it or not is none of my business. But what is my business is this podcast. And I want to welcome you with open arms and say that whether you're with your family, chosen or by blood, which by blood is a disgusting expression and I don't like it at all, makes me feel like I'm on Game of Thrones or some sort of vampire show, and it makes me very uncomfortable. And also what makes me uncomfortable is that my background keeps shifting around me in a way that looks insane. And if you can't see it because you're listening to the podcast, you're missing it. Go look it up on YouTube. You are in for quite a trippy, Caspery kind of vibe. And that's how I'll say that. And if you're on YouTube and you comment that it doesn't look like that, well, tell me what you think it looks like, okay? But anyway, if you're here, whether you're celebrating or not, whether you need an escapism in terms of like something to be angry at and I'm providing anger for you, you're welcome. Or I'm providing a laugh for you, you're welcome. Or I'm providing something that's like white noise for you to go to sleep at because I'm white and I'm making noise, you're welcome. I hope you have a wonderful day regardless of what your intentions are and what you're doing. What are you doing? It's none of my business. So long as you listen for an hour. So these are some things this week that made me say, oh, damn. And let's get into it. First and foremost, I want to start with a little bit of background noise. Something nice, something wonderful, something melodic, something with some tone. Coachella. It's that big festival every year. I don't need to explain what Coachella is to you. Come on. You know what it is. But they're having a great lineup. So far, as if they're confirming more people. I don't know, maybe some of these people will drop out, because there's honestly so many people on this list, I can't even believe. What is the budget for Coachella? How much are you guys paying for these tickets? I'm not attending. I don't like a festival, honestly, personally. I won't be going. I don't like to stand up. I don't like to stand up at the grocery store waiting in line, let alone at a music festival all day long. But Lady Gaga, this could entice me maybe because Lady Gaga is headlining, Green Day's headlining. It's 3 days, okay? These are the headliners for the 2 weekends, and they play each weekend. Lady Gaga, Green Day, Post Malone, Travis Scott. And in between that, you've got a variety of music. There's something for everyone here. I'm not sponsored, but Missy Elliott, sponsor me if you want. Missy Elliott, Glorilla. We've got FKA Twigs. There's Charlie XCX, The Misfits, Anita. These are just the people that I like and would like to see. Meg Thee Stallion. Somebody named, I don't know if I'm reading this right, and excuse me if I'm not. Be-ba-doobie. Be-ba-doobie. Be-ba-doo, be-ba-doo. I mean, how do you say this? Big bap doobie. It sounds like bop bop ba doo bop ba wop bam boom. I mean, what is that? Who wrote that? Is that a final name? I mean, you're pretty high up on this list for that 3rd day, which is, I think, the biggest day, right? That's the day that everybody's like, wow, yay. I don't know. Traditionally, I would think that's how it goes. It's like you start off, of course, strong, then you get stronger, and then you get strongest, right? Isn't that the order of the events? Bee-ba-da booby? Big old booby? I don't know, what is that? I need hooked on phonics. I need to learn how to say this. I butchered this, but honestly, get it together. I don't like this name. You probably have the best music on here, and good for you. I won't be listening. Next. So this is not melodic, and I don't want to spend a lot of time on this because it's political, so skip a minute or two ahead. I don't know how long it's going to last, but I'm going to go on a little rant here because it's I told you so. It's one of my favorite phrases in the English language. I'm sure other languages say it too, but probably not in the words such as I told you so. You little people who love Trump, well, guess what? This whole Project 2025 thing, he's been touting, I got no connection to it. I'm not doing those, da 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 da, with his tiny little hands that can't open any doors, including garbage trucks, which is what he belongs in because it's a piece of garbage. I cannot believe you fell for it, because you really did. He is appointing 4 cabinet members to be running cabinet positions, and they're all attached to Project 2025, including Trump's FCC pick. What is the FCC? Well, it is the Federal Communications Commission. They're in charge of regulating interstate and international communications through cable, radio, television, satellite, wire. I'm talking social media. I'm talking broadcast. I'm talking XYZ for you to consume and to produce. So he's appointed a guy named Brendan Carr, who wrote Project 2025's chapter on the agency. I want you to listen back to that because I shan't be repeating it. Hello, wake up. You need to be concerned. Should have been concerned months ago, but now you need to be a little bit more than that. And I don't want to scare you, but a lot of you are watching something called Fox News, and that is listed as an entertainment conglomerate. They have news in the title, but guess what? They're not listed as a news broadcasting system. It's entertainment is the label. Just soak that in. Because you should have before you started soaking in what you're consuming from the station that's supposed to be entertainment. It's the same, it's listed as the same as Bravo, okay? You get as much news from this Fox News as you would from a Real Housewife. Because that's how it's listed in terms of its categories. Great. Anyways, the FCC it's going to be Brendan Carr in charge. This is someone who doesn't like TikTok. Whether you like or hate TikTok, it's a great way for people to connect and to provide authentic information about what's going on in real time in their lives and to have a sense of community. Now, he is a proponent of getting rid, starting next year, ending its promotion of the DEI, which is diversity, equity, and inclusion. So can you guess how that's going to go for minorities? Not well. I didn't wait for you to guess, and I don't want to, because you already knew. You're smart. Think about this for a second. You thought, right? Not good. He is a free speech warrior taking on America's censorship cartel. Those are words from him. Interesting. I'm not going to tell you what Project 2025 is. You're smart. You can look it up. This is not an educational program. This is also entertainment, as much as your Fox News that you love so much is. Now, Harris, Trump already threatened to sue 60 Minutes because of the way that they edited her speech. Do you remember that? Her interview, more so than her speech, to make it look very favorable for her. And he also complained and threatened SNL. And he said that NBC/Universal, because that's their owner, that's their company, Comcast organization, is definitely one-sided in the way that they promoted and touted Harris. So NBC, in turn, gave him free advertisement spots for both NASCAR and Sunday Night Football. And you can guess which ones have the bigger audience. Yay, what a win. That is sarcasm. Carr is calling for licenses to be stripped from all 3 major broadcast networks for coverage choices that he has denounced. So there's a couple of things we need to watch out for. The most obvious and direct ones, and I'm reading from Forbes magazine, it would begin to mess around with the renewal of their broadcast television licenses for those 3 major networks. Talking about ABC, NBC, CBS, right? Those are our biggest networks in the U.S. They all own local television stations. The FCC is in charge of those licenses. And so if they want to rule that these companies were not serving the public interest, the FCC could theoretically take away those licenses. I'm reading directly from Forbes magazine. This is something that is potentially happening. Elon Musk loves Brendan Carr. He's going to be pushing the agenda of Elon Musk, which, again, Elon Musk is someone that is probably going to be on Trump's cabinet in some capacity, and he's also the second biggest donor of Trump. I just want to remind you that $43.6 million through October 16th via his super PAC is something that he donated towards Trump's campaign. So I don't know if you're worried about that, but I think you should be. We're touting it as like freedom of expression, but what's going to end up happening is censorship for anyone that doesn't agree with our political leader, whom, again, cannot open a garbage truck door. Let me specify, because he specifically cannot open that door. Should we play the clip? No. All right. I put a stamp of disapproval on that. And I don't want to ask you how you feel about it, because I'm sure it's not good. All right, we're going to jump into completely lighter things now. You ready? Speaking of stamps, Betty White is getting a USPS. That's the Postal Service stamp in 2025. And I just think that is just so cute. You're welcome. I made it light again. Now, here's something that I really want to talk about, because Betty White's an actor, right? Or was an actor, RIP, which is rest in postage. Take two, rest in postage. Yes. And that was a raw and honest delivery from me. And now I would like to talk about something raw and honest that is going on with another actor. Miss Gillian Anderson, British-American individual who seems to have like a lot of ambiguity to that accent in a way that like other actors have too, sort of like Madonna did for a bit. If you want to call her an actor, she acts like she's a pop star, is what some people would say, not me, only Patti LuPone. I think that she's a phenomenal talent, so there's no shade to Madonna. She did a lot for the queer community, and continues to. But I went for the joke. Gillian Anderson, however the hell you say her name, it's in the X-Files. It's like it's an alien thing. I don't know, folks. But sometimes she has a British accent, and sometimes she doesn't. And it confuses the hell out of me. But what doesn't confuse the hell out of me is that she's an excellent actor. She's a wonderful actor. She's such a talent. Love her. She was in something called Sex Education, which my brother told me to watch, and I am still uncomfortable that he's the one that told me to watch something called Sex Education. Even though he's a full-blown adult and he's married, I was uncomfortable with that word coming out of his mouth. Being a third parent / helicopter parent is really fun for me. But I tried to connect with him, and I watched the whole series and then found out he didn't really watch all of it. He just kind of watched the first season. But she was great in it, okay? What I love about actors is when they really get into the psychiatric or psyche of the character so much that they move into like method acting with it in a way that's like they carry it on. Like, okay, Lady Gaga, for example, played Harley Quinn from this Joker universe, right? And I'm sure she was unhappy with the edit, as she should have been, because it was a shit movie, and I don't even want to watch the rest of it. I watched 10 minutes, and what I mean by 10 minutes is the snooze fest of a trailer that it was, and then people dragging it online, but that's neither here nor there. Cut that. Cut for time. She did this whole concept album that was like a jazz album, basically saying like, this is the music I would have wanted in it, right? And so Jillian, whatever the hell, Anderson, amazing talent, excuse me for flubbing that, bibbidi bobbidi boo, band all over again. She's such a method actor. She got so excited by the sex education person that she took on personally that sex therapist role that she played. And she was like, there's a lot of disconnect with couples. And she wrote a book from people's stories about how they're not connecting sexually with their partner and all of these things. And I just think that's a really honorable thing to do, first of all, to just sort of like open up the conversations between couples to talk about what you like and intimacy. And I also think it's wonderful that she took that on, I think, as inspiration from Sex Education. I love that. I love to see stuff like that because honestly, acting is often similar to psychology in the way that it could have gone either way for people usually to study in schooling or throughout history. The draw from it is the same. It's the same thing. You know, wanting to get behind the psyche of an individual in order to play them in an organically authentic way. Whatever, I'm trying to get represented for acting. That's why I went on this whole tangent. It really had very little to do with her. I would like to read the book. If you've read it, tell me how it is. Here's a fun one, and we're going to do this in exactly 1 minute, so timing. Real Housewives of Beverly Hills premiered last week. If you didn't watch it, you need to go watch it. They do a whole surrealism party, which is like, you know, like melted clocks and all this fun stuff. Like Frida Kahlo was famous for it. There's other people. I think his name is Salvador Dali did the melting clocks. But it's like all these surrealism things. And I love when in the Housewives universe, 30 seconds. Okay. When the Housewives do these crazy things, but like crazy parties and like go there with the costumes. Speaking of, Dorit is arguing with Kyle in a way that I'm loving this season, and I can't wait to see more, but I'm specifically most excited for one of my favorite actresses, Jennifer Tilly. She's on the show now. She's a friend of. I think she's such an icon. She was in Chucky. She was the bride. Boom, boom, boom. Go watch. You'll love it. And the new housewife that they brought on is going to be so good. Oh, she used to be the CEO of Netflix. So it's giving wealth. It's giving entertainment. It's giving chill. I almost did that in a minute. I did pretty good. Did pretty close. So here's a good moment to take a second. Last week we did a voice memo of the week, and this week I'd like to make this an oopsie of the week, my friend oopsie of the week. So we'll call it the blonde moment of the week, because my friend didn't mess up. This is hilarious to me, and I think it will be to you too. My bestie since growing up. We've been best friends since I was 8, I want to say. She'll correct me, but as she should. Her name is Devin. She'll be on the podcast in the new year, and you'll love her because this is a cult, just like Fox News. So you're going to love it, and you're going to love her. She texted me this week, and she said, "Oh, my God, Lisa Frank doc coming out with heart emoji eyes." You know what they look like. And I said, "Wait, oh, my God, Lisa Frank, we won." And she said, "What do you mean we won?" "Oh, shoot. Not Lisa Frank. I meant to type Wicked." She meant that a Wicked documentary was coming out. Oh my gosh. I just love that Wicked would turn into Lisa Frank. Lisa Frank was those beautiful binders when we were in school. Super colorful, super fun, not just pink and green like Wicked. And, you know, if you've seen the movie yet, no spoilers. All right. Speaking of a really fun big tentpole film, okay? Warner Brothers is selling 10 functional Batmobiles for $3 million each. I'm talking about the Batmobiles from Christian Bale or Christian whatever the hell when he was in that series. Those really fun like army tank looking things. He was in it, and then the seat would go down into the front of the thing, and he would like be driving sort of like up at the, I don't know what you call that, in the wheels basically. It was so cool and hot and amazing and fun, and basically I've got a PayPal, so if you'd like to donate some money so that I can get a Batmobile for John, close your ears, for John's Christmas present, that would be amazing, because I know he wants one, and I would like to ride in it. The only problem with these $3 million things is that you can't even take them on the highway. They're not approved. Like, if you took this on the highway, I don't know if you get a ticket or arrested or who's to say, but they're not road ready. What are you paying $3 million for? Anyway, I'd like to, so thanks. There's only 10 of them. It's going to be, all of them are going to go to Dubai. You know they are. The only people who can buy them are people in Dubai, because that's who be Dubaiing. Now, this is something that made me say, "Ah, damn," in a good way. If you say "ah, damn," that sounds like that could be negative. But no, this is a damn good thing. Los Angeles unanimously voted to establish Los Angeles as a sanctuary for immigrants and LGBTQ people. That's a major slay. That's a slay. That's the Riz, honey. That's yes. I actually don't know what the Riz means. I still don't understand some of the lingo that these youngins are using. I don't get it. But I love that they're doing something with language, because I'm the generation from Dr. Seuss. I mean, Dr. Seuss has been around since well before me, and I like to say I'm the generation of Dr. Seuss because I'd be making up words left, right, and center. And so do artists. Bibbidi bobbidi boop. What? I'm not going to get over that. Here's something I might have a different take than you on. How to Train Your Dragon. They're doing a live action, and it is frame by frame of the animated film. The dragon itself is not, you can't like make a live action dragon unless you did like a puppet, which they didn't seem to be enticed by. They didn't want to do that. So they've got a CGI dragon, and it looks, I think, worse than the animated one. And all of this is in quotes, even though I didn't lift my arms to do air quotes for it, because the Diet Coke is fading on me right now. I don't really understand this frame by frame thing. Like, all of you that complain about these Disney live actions, well, you're going to get it from DreamWorks too now. And all of you that complain about how the Disney stuff is differing from the original and you wanted to see how it looked, like exactly like well, you're getting it. Okay, you got your wish. And I think it's boring. So you enjoy seeing it at the theater. Also, I thought the kid was a lot older than he is, so when you go and look at his photo, just know he's 15. and do not think anything inappropriate at all, because it ain't okay. You've been warned. Okay, let's see. I have a recommendation for you to watch, and if you're not, you need to be. It's called It's Florida Man. It's on HBO/Max. Like, they've got a million names for this fucking channel. Like, get it together, get your branding on point and your concept together, all right? And that's speaking as somebody who worked at the HBO Max launch event announcement. I was a script coordinator. Little shout out to me. It was a fun, and I loved it. I got paid. It was amazing. It was on the Warner Brothers lot. Anyway, whatever. Can't say more than that, but it was a fun time. It's Florida Man is just, every episode is a reenacted event of real things that occurred and happened, and you just gotta watch it. That's all I can say. They have a lot of famous actors that do the reenactment portions. Like, they've had Anna Faris. They had Julia Fox. Julia Fox? She's amazing. Whatever her name is. Just go watch it, okay? They're not paying me to say this, so I don't have to get all the details right. I'm just telling you right now, you're going to love it. And it is a great thing to watch over the holidays with your family because it's a laugh. One thing we can all agree on in this country is that Florida's a fucking mess. And we all have stupid people in our country. And it's fun to look at them, laugh at them, and then if you want to get really antsy and you want to test the waters, just point to your relative and say, this is some shit you would do. See how that goes over for you. You might lose an arm and not by a crocodile. All right. We're going to get into the thing of the week that you voted on. This is the thing that most made you say, oh, damn. There were two things, actually. And so I'm going to split my time on this first thing for 5 minutes. And then the second thing I'm going to give 1 minute to, okay? So, Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson. All of you were really interested in this, and I flipped the coin because we have to answer it either sincerely or shadily with a smile. And the coin landed on shadily with a smile because ding, 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 ding. How else really could I be answering this? What do you mean Jake Paul fought Mike Tyson? Did you watch this? They're saying up to 2 billion people watch this. Who in the world cares about this fight? If you're not in the States and you are not a Jake Paul fan, you're not watching this. You mean to tell me anybody in Europe, Asia, Africa, Australia, or Oceania, any of that, watch this? I do not believe you. I don't. Maybe people in South America watched it. Maybe. But I don't. You think somebody in Greenland was like, you know what I have to do today? I have to go and watch the Jake Paul and the Mike Tyson. Oh, woohoo. Big summer blowout. No. They're not watching this shit. And I didn't watch it either. No, I watched the highlight reel. And honestly, this thing was rigged. Come on, be serious. I know that they say the vast majority of cases, boxing matches are not fixed. Well, this one was. Jake Paul got $40 million for this. Fight me, I'd like at least $2 million. I got a new nose, but you know what? I can pay for another one with $2 million. Fight me, I don't care. You can win. I'll let you win. Have fun with that. He's such a disaster. I worked on set with Jake Paul one time as like a PA or something, and I probably shouldn't get into the specifics, but I didn't sign a contract. And what I will say is that he struggled. It was a music video. Let me just lay the groundwork here. When he was a musician for a beat, this like YouTuber turned musician turned boxer, which is a pipeline that I never thought I would say out loud in my life, while he had one of these so-called music videos, he didn't want to pay anyone after. He didn't want to pay any of us. I had to threaten legal pursuit to get my less than $200 from the team. And the girl on the phone, it was like 4 phone conversations. She was like, if you ever want to work with me again, you're going to have to accept to do this without pay. And I said, honey, the ship for you and I to work together has long since sailed. You're going to run me my money or I'm going to run you a court order. Do you want that? Do you think you want Jake Paul in the news for this? No, you don't. Well, anyway, he's making $40 million now, and I think it's time to take him to court to get a little bit more money, isn't it? We'd love to sue. Yeah. Okay, so in conclusion on this, because I've got a minute left of this, boxing. Only people I want to watch box are Bernie and Mitch McConnell. Check, please. I mean, I can't get over how much money he made off of this. This is stupid. $40 million for a rigged thing. And, excuse me, $20 million for Mike, who's an actual, like, professional boxer. Okay, Jake's been boxing for what, 2 years and a quarter or whatever the hell. He's boxing somebody who's 31 years older than him. And they wouldn't even let Mike do some of his signature moves. It was like in the contract, allegedly, that Mike's not allowed to do his signature moves. Because guess what? They would have whooped his ass, even though he's 31 years older than this loser. He's a loser to me. It's really embarrassing to me that we live in a culture in which we uplift people like Jake Paul, and we give him the time of day, and we listen to what he has to say. Your name is 2 first names. So's mine. Adam Griffin. Jake Paul. Boring. I just think, what's the intention that we're showcasing to these kids? I'm gonna get real for you for a second. I'm gonna flip the coin back to sincerely, and I'm gonna put 30 more seconds on the clock for myself, because this is something I really want to talk about. What is it that we're giving to these younger kids in this generation, and to boys specifically, to say this is somebody we want to uplift, which is Jake Paul? Have you watched any of his videos or anything he has to say outside of the stupid boxing thing? And I do think it's stupid. I don't think he has anything worth saying, and I do not think that this is a kid that we need to be telling our children that they need to pay attention to and listen to and use as a role model. But I don't have $40 million, so maybe I'm listening to the wrong side of things. What do you think? It was rigged. I know you think that. And this is... Okay, I'll end on this. So he's fighting somebody so much older than himself, who is an established boxer and very successful, and rightfully so. And he should have gotten more money than he got. I think it's really embarrassing that Netflix paid Mike half of what they paid Jake. I think that's really embarrassing. It looks bad for you. I think that if you're fighting Mike, what do you do at Thanksgiving? You fighting your grandpa on his oxygen tank? You just kicking him left, right, and center? And you say, yeah, you don't need any more of those O's. What you need is an L for loss. Just beating up whomever. You look childish. And get a haircut. It looks ragged. You got all this money and no barber around you? Who are you going to fight next? Santa? Shameful. Don't you love the visual of Bernie and Mitch McConnell boxing? That's the U.S. Senate hard at work. Now, I'll tell you what's not hard at work. The Pentagon... This is the other thing that you guys voted on. It was a tie, and I've got exactly 1 minute to talk about it. Let's see if I can do it. You've got 60 seconds. The Pentagon fails its 7th audit in a row. There's no major part of the Department of Defense, which is called DOD. Okay. No. None of them have ever passed an audit, according to a recent congressional testimony by the nonpartisan U.S. General Accounting Office, which is abbreviated at the even worse GAO. GAO? You got a GAO. And the Pentagon needs to get it together. About 58% of the material the Pentagon possesses, $36.9 billion worth, are items it does not need. Over the past 3 years, the Navy lost track of $3 billion in equipment and other items. Let me go get a job at the Navy. I already like Rihanna. I'm part of that Navy. Can I get some money? Run me my check. Jake, Paul, Navy, all of you. I mean, only 11 of 24 big federal agencies could produce reliable financial statements for the last fiscal year. I'm sorry. What am I paying taxes for? I'm going to continue to pay them. I don't want to be audited. But I'm saying, why am I held to a higher standard than you with my $5 check? What do you mean you can't account for all this money in all these different branches, and you failed not only 1 audit, but 7? What happened to 3 strikes, you're out? You're a whole branch. What's wrong with our goddamn government? 7 audits? This ain't Snow White, honey. You can't be failing 7 men all in a row like this. Oh, man. Anyway, I flipped the coin to do sincerely on this one, and I don't know that I did. I think I was more shadily with a smile. You tell me how I did, but let me just say it like this. Pentagon, I'm so over time. Pentagon is more like a box. You're cutting all these corners. You've turned into a box. And you've had two options. Yes, I did my taxes right. Yes, I know how to operate my money. And no is what you checked 7 times in a row. Congratulations, you are a... That was 7 times. Failure. Unsubscribe. Anyway, we will be back after this commercial break, which is a word from my parents. And honestly, Linda might not have a lot to say this week, because she sure ain't been listening.
Hey everyone, this is Linda LaFaye, and I've always got something to say. You're welcome.
John's segment might be a little bit longer than normal. And by that, I mean 3 words instead of 1.
Quit cutting up.
Only thing being cut is your microphone off, because that's all for your segment. Here's Dad.
Nah, I'm good.
Love you both. Let's get back into the podcast. This is my friend, Steve Martin. Yeah, definitely not, son. It's not Steve Martin. But she does call herself the Steve Martin to my Martin Lawrence, and I'll take that all the way to the bank and deposit those 0 coins. This is my friend Arya Govil. We talk about hot topics, some of the hot takes that she feels about things going on in current events, as well as what she's doing for Thanksgiving. You're dying for it. You're begging for it. Now I feel like we're too far away. Initially, I thought, well, we're too close, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so anyway, this is Arya. Hey, say hi.
Hi, guys.
Oh, I'm so bossy. I'm like, say hi.
Oh, my gosh. Adam's stripping.
Uh-uh.
Ladies and gentlemen, Adam is stripping.
Don't give them the wrong visual over here, okay?
I'm giving them the right visual.
How many abs did I have? Say 8.
45.
Okay. I don't like that number anymore, so we're going to... 45?
Why don't we like 45?
Why don't you think about that for a second? Politically.
Oh, yikes.
Okay, well, we're going to fight this whole episode. Welcome to our Thanksgiving brawl.
I feel like I'm at Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah, also specifically because I sat too close to you and you said, are we making out now? And that's how all of our Thanksgivings start with my family.
Right. We're
cousins. You got your cousins and then you got your first cousins.
mean girls.
Yeah. So... We're on
No.
a tight schedule. My producer, Chris Cappuccino, will get on my ass if we don't do it at the right time. Okay,
Yeah.
and go.
Oh, shit.
All right. So, no, there's no cursing on the podcast, so don't do that again.
Fuck. Okay.
Good. I was kidding. That was a good test.
Great.
So, here's something. We were going to talk about this, and we'll get to the big topic in a second, but I actually want to start because we have something that is a little bit of a contention for us. Do you like how I'm shaking it up? You were like prepared for which topic we were doing first, and I'm already starting with a different one. So
I'm terrified, actually.
So you and I musically talk about stuff together. We've worked award circuits together. Mm-hmm. It's not like we've hosted yet something, but we are kind of like an Amy and Tina together in that way. People think we look like them.
Yeah, no, I think we're more Martin Short and Steve Martin.
Yeah, we are.
And I'm Steve Martin.
100%. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I have crack energy, is what you're saying. I have Jack Frost energy. Well, so musically, we are aligned normally.
Uh-oh.
But you got me into 2 artists, one of which I do love, and the other one I'm not so sure about. And I just want to put 8 minutes on the clock, and I want to talk about each of them for 4 of those, okay?
Oh, my God.
So, Sabrina Carpenter.
Yes, she's a slay.
Yeah, she's a major slay, and I know we're going into the holidays, so she's a slay, and she's got that Christmas special or whatever. But I really fell head over heels for her, and I went with my sister to a concert of hers, and then I found out you've never been to one of her concerts.
Mm-hmm.
So you've really set me up for failure, because everyone at the concert was 13 years old. Everyone was unparented, and I felt like the mother of the group, and everybody was doing behavior that was unacceptable. They were singing sexually explicit lyrics, filming themselves with the light on, and I was like, no, put your phone away, shut up, and watch the artists. Explain yourself, Arya. Defend yourself.
Okay. Here's the thing.
This is like Judge Matthias all of a sudden.
Here's the thing. I love Sabrina Carpenter. I shared her with you. I shared my love of her with you. Did I tell you to spend the money and go to the concert?
Okay, good points are
You
being
were the
made.
one that came to me and were like, oh, you're going to Sabrina Carpenter, right? And I'm like, no, I don't have money for that or time. And you were like, oh, I'm going with my sister in North Carolina and we're going to do this thing and blah, 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 blah. So it's not, I don't have control over your wallet. That's my defense.
Well, how do you come back from that? Really? Okay. That's a good point. That's a good point. And I do have a rebuttal.
Okay.
Fuck, you know. All right, moving on. So at the concert, I want to bring this to your attention because if you do ever go to one of her concerts, you need to be warned.
After you've really sold me on not going.
You have me in so deep on this though, and you're like, I'm never going. What a plot twist.
Okay.
It's like having a curse and you give it to somebody else and you're like, now you do with it.
Yeah,
you deal with it.
Every horror movie.
Yeah, this is the curse.
It's
the curse is you watch a pop icon and then you suffer after. First of all, traffic getting there was a nightmare. It took us 2 hours to get to the concert. Like we thought we were going to get there early. We were going to be able to look at merch. We're going to see the opening act. We got there and as we entered the section, she came on stage, which is actually good timing because forget about the rest of it. If we had been around these little 13-year-olds during the opening act, I think I would have jumped off the ledge. Literally, everyone was 13. They all were filming themselves, screaming the whole time. I looked at the girl beside me at one point, and I literally said to her, can you turn the flash off? And she did. So I should have just told her what I thought from the beginning, probably. But She needed to be parented. What's up with this generation?
They need to be parented. You just answered it.
Well, Arya, thanks so much. Okay?
No, I agree. I do think that this generation, they're weird, right?
I'm going to cut I am a freak into this right here when you say that.
This generation, I am a freak. See, you don't even need to cut it. I just did it for you.
Girl, don't let me lead the witness.
This is the COVID generation, right? These are the kids that stayed indoors for almost 3 years.
True.
And had only the internet as their friends. And I mean, I feel bad for their parents too, because they probably were just like, yeah, go off and do what you do, because I don't know.
No, I have no empathy for them. They did a bad job and they need to get it together.
Fair.
So that's what I got to say about that. I just wanted to give another side of it. I obviously don't feel that way.
Sabrina Carpenter fans all need to be parented.
They do, including myself, because clearly I am railroading you right now on this. So we've only got 2 minutes left on this topic.
Oh,
actually,
shit.
1 minute.
Ooh.
So, Chapel Roan.
Yes.
Explain.
What do I need to explain, though?
Why am I supposed to like her?
Because she's an incredible artiste.
She's not an artist. She's an artiste.
She's an artiste.
She's an artisanal cheese board.
Yes. She's incredible. Her vocals are incredible. I think she's not in this for the fame game.
She's clearly not in it for that.
Right.
She's a PR nightmare.
Every time she performs, I feel like she's genuinely up there doing what she loves. She hates the red carpet stuff, and I don't blame her for that. And I really think if more celebrities were like that, we would get rid of that whole sort of culture where people have to be on their best behavior, or like, you know, showcase themselves in a certain way, or like be photographed in a certain place. Like, I think Chapel Roan is, like, there's two sides to that generation, right? There's the one side that's taking pictures at Sabrina Carpenter that are being pains in the asses. And then there's another side that's like, no, I want to fight the status quo. I believe in all these great progressive ideas. And I don't care if I'm a role model for anybody. That's not what I'm here to do. I'm here to do what I love to do. And that's what you're gonna either like me for that, or you're not going to like me.
Yeah, so we've got sort of like fame centric in a way. It's probably not their goals, but it is sort of like the fame pop star and that sort of gestation of it. And then there's the one who's like, I'm just strictly trying to do my artistry and I don't want the fame at all. I will say, I would like for us very quickly to compare the two artists to like a previous generation artist, because a lot of people say like Sabrina Carpenter's like Christina Aguilera, which we both agree is false.
No,
they're not the same, and I love both of them. And Chapel Roan is like Lady Gaga, which I disagree with just wholeheartedly. I don't think that's a good comparison, because Lady Gaga loved the fame. It was all about the fame, so I don't think that's a good comparison at all. Who would you compare them to? And it doesn't have to be what we talked about earlier.
But I think it's a great comparison.
Oh, good, perfect.
I think Sabrina is a lot like this generation's Shania, possibly.
Yes. You know I agree.
I know you agree.
Yeah,
also,
very country
Shania
pop.
and I have the same birthday. So.
Shut up.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Virgo Queens.
But you have better wigs than her. Her wigs are not good these days.
This is real.
No,
I'm sorry.
Know. It was
what?
a joke. Bye, wig.
I don't believe in jokes.
Well, you're in the wrong place. Yeah, no, but Sabrina Carpenter is definitely like Shania Twain because she's doing country pop, I don't care how you label her. This last album was country pop, in my opinion. She's for the girls. She's very dolled up, very pretty. So, yes. And then Chapel Rowan, who did we say that she was like? So, I mean, I think it's definitely more of a rock star vibe. So, in my opinion, she's like, girls just want to have fun. She's very Cyndi Lauper, in my opinion.
I could see that.
It's like it's spectacle, but it's not in the way of like fame-driven and choreography.
Right. It's not a shtick. It's not performative.
Yeah, it's a little bit more genuine than that.
Yes, genuine.
Okay, next topic, because we ran out of time.
Oops.
So now we're going to... No, oops. I'm keeping us on time. And I'm not doing a good job of it. And then Chris Cappuccino's fired. So we want to talk about Wicked. It came out this week. I'm sure you've all seen it 3-4 times. Everybody was singing in the theater, probably filming themselves like these little teeny boppers. Oh, God. But I'm very excited for the movie, and you've had a take on it about the promo that I really hadn't thought about, and I love your take on it, so tell me what you were thinking.
I had a take that no one has ever thought about.
Not in their whole life, no. Well, yeah, you originated.
I'm the most original person.
You're not getting enough credit for it. You originated this.
Mm-hmm. I think the promo is overwhelming, which I believe that a lot of people agree with.
But you said it first, because no good deed goes unpunished.
Oh.
I'll sprinkle some references in if I can remember more than 2.
I'm waiting for the next one.
I'm defying my ADHD. Go on.
Damn it. So the one thing about it is, like, I get it. They're theater kids. We were theater kids growing up. We understand how emotional it is to finish something and, like, the bond that you create singing.
You are
and
so
dancing
sugarcoating this. You had such a stronger opinion about this.
I'm getting to it.
Oh, okay. You've only got an hour. It's going to take you an hour to build it up. Come on.
Yeah, so give me 2 hours.
No, you don't got it.
Okay.
The Thanksgiving meal is cooking. The turkey is roasted.
Turkeys take a long time to make.
I started cooking before you got here.
Oh my God, you bitch.
Trader Joe's. It takes 5 minutes to warm up in the microwave, okay?
Oh my God, if you feed me a Trader Joe's turkey. Also, hot topic or hot take, I'm not a turkey guy.
I don't blame you. Not everybody's into it.
I'm not a turkey guy.
It's my favorite. So the less people that like it, the cheaper. Oh, it'll be more expensive. No, I need more people to like it so that the price will go down. Actually, I don't like your take now.
Like, I'll eat it for Thanksgiving, but it's not like, oh, I'm craving turkey.
What's your favorite meat?
Oh, no. Are we othering the vegetarians?
I don't care.
Okay.
It's my podcast.
Oh my
Close your ears. Skip forward.
Skip forward.
It's my hour.
Wait, we're going to take 15
I love a
minutes
ham.
to talk about it. I'm basic. I'm a chicken girl.
I love chicken.
I love a good chicken.
But, like, let's move on from this. Okay, so let's get back to the Wicked promo. You're not liking the Wicked promo.
I'm not liking the Wicked promo.
So here's something funny we've talked about, and I agree to an extent. The promo has been all over the place. Like, if you're crying at every single interview, like, I get it. I'm almost like, are you having a mental breakdown?
Right?
Let's get on some Zoloft, honey. I am worried.
And it doesn't make sense because it feels like it's timed every single time that they do it.
Like 45 seconds in.
Yeah.
we tried to do that on this podcast today, but we couldn't get our prep.
You didn't say the right line.
We didn't get our emotional prep. Yeah, I didn't whack her.
You didn't cue me.
I didn't whack her with a tortilla hard enough. Ding. The movie it's longer than the musical is, and it's half of the musical. So that math is really interesting. What did they stretch out? And Arya and I have developed something that we'd like to display to you now. Picture this.
The Emerald City.
Hi, welcome to the Emerald City. We're going to build it brick by brick. Because what else are they doing in this musical? Like, what are you adding? What stories are they adding? So we're going to watch them build the Emerald City.
Brick by brick. Brick by brick, we're building the Emerald City. Brick by brick. And it's a 2-hour song.
I like that we made it sort of Sondheim. Like, I don't know why I was in a minor key with you.
No, that was great.
It was kind of fun,
right?
Oh, my
God.
Our theater's coming back. And then cut to, now they're building the road.
Brick by brick.
Brick by brick. Yellow, gold, brick by brick. Okay? It's like every single thing that is going on, they're just building it brick by brick. We're in the school now. Okay, how do we make our wands? With wood. There has to be one that's different, right? They can't all be bricks. But the food. Brick by brick. Brick by brick. Have we killed this joke yet? I'm just like, no, but seriously, what if they added to this? And then what's the second one going to be about? Because I have to tell you, when I watched it, the second act is a real downer.
Yes, that's what I was thinking too. If this movie's 3 hours, what else do you have to say?
No, I'm like,
why didn't you do the whole movie?
are we going to watch them behind the scenes, like painting her green? Like,
Yeah.
what is she doing? Like, is like Glinda going out and she's like, you know what? I want to go to Potty Reborn. I would like to get something popular, something wonderful off the list. I don't know why she's actually from New York.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is she developing the bubble? She's like, this is the wrong hue. This is the wrong.
They're blowing up the bubble.
The flying monkeys are like, I don't quite know how to fly yet. Train me. They're all the same accent.
Yes.
What is your terrible characterization?
It's like you did a great Fred Armisen impersonation.
I did,
just now.
and that was it.
I want the monkeys to be played by Fred Armisen.
What are they going to add? Seriously, though.
I know I had heard allegedly that there's an improvised scene, but I'm hoping it's
brick by
brick.
brick. They should have hired us.
I know.
We're the Schwartz. Who wrote that? It wasn't a Schwartz.
Yeah, it was Stephen
Was
Schwartz.
a Schwartz. It was a Schwartz.
It was a Schwartz.
All right, yeah. Well,
It was a New Yorker.
To cut it short and sweet.
Aww.
That was a Sabrina reference.
Yeah,
That was the name of her tour, her album. So back to the holidays, because this is what's going on. A lot of people probably aren't celebrating them, or maybe they're alone, or you're with your chosen family, and I want to acknowledge that, of course. And this next week, I'm not going to probably be... I don't know if I'm going to a Friendsgiving, but you're going to be with your family, and I love that.
I will.
I
It'll
love
be
that.
chaotic though.
Oh, I imagine so. It's always chaotic.
Yeah.
There's no other way to do it. Do you spend it with like a lot of family members or just immediate?
Yes, lots. I spend it with my dad's side of the family, and there's gotta be like 30 of us now.
Oh wow.
Cause yeah, it's huge.
I
So,
like that.
My dad has 4 brothers. They all have 2 kids, and most of them now have 2 kids or a kid. So there's
That's kind of fun though, because I'm
chunk.
sure you don't see them a lot living on the opposite coast.
I don't. And so yeah, we always treated it like a family reunion, which was always nice. And it's always so fun to see, especially to see the little kids and how much they've grown up. Like, I was talking to my sister and she was like, "Oh, did you know that blah 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 is 12 years old now?" I'm like, "She's 12? How the hell did that happen?"
Oh.
Like, I was there when she was born.
Wait, you were there?
No.
I
I went to the hospital.
Oh, you did?
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, because they were in New York, and I was in New York at the time.
That's amazing. I think it's so special to be able to watch and witness somebody grow up.
It is.
And to not have to be there on the daily or babysit is also kind of a perk, honestly, in
Right.
my opinion.
I mean, you're an older sibling as well, and you watched 2 kids grow up.
Yes, I breastfed some of them.
Right.
Yes, my favorite one.
You had...
No, I'm just kidding.
and it's up to the podcast listeners to guess who is
This
Adam's favorite sibling that got
2024,
breastfed.
Sophie's Choice. That's not a good joke at all. Wait, I do want to... There was a joke that you
Breast
said...
by breast. Sorry.
There was a joke that we did earlier that I want to put in the recording because I thought it was so funny. We were talking about all these live action Disney movies that are coming to play.
Mm-hmm.
And that we talked about, what's the bold woman? The red...
Right, I
the
didn't
Red Scare,
remember.
Brave. And then
Yeah.
we were like, we gave her like a Russian accent. We like totally made it like a different thing.
Yes. She's like, "Yes, you fight against the Ukrainian soldiers. I am brave."
Yes, I will take down the vodka. And I will bear wrestle you.
You sounded French.
Yeah, I don't know where she's broadly European. You've never seen Brave.
No.
But have you felt brave?
Never in my life.
Okay, we're going to have to work on that because that's something I want you to experience.
Okay.
Maybe for a minute or two. I don't want us to... We got to keep our ego in check.
Okay.
We don't want to be too brave. I don't want you, like, jumping off a rooftop or anything crazy.
I wanna see you be brave.
Oh, yeah. Wait, who sang that?
Sarah Bareilles?
Not me thinking Sarah Jessica Parker.
Yes, Sarah Jessica
You know,
Parker.
famously Sex in the City.
Famously sex.
Is that why you want to move back to New York in reality?
It's
Do you
because
want
I want to be Sex in the City.
You want to be brave like Sarah Jessica Parker?
I want to be brave like Carrie Braveshaw. She's so brave.
She's so brave.
Like those women going around and having sex in their 40s, so brave.
So brave and being single and getting purses and shoes. And
They're so brave.
they did a lot more than that, but that's what I remember.
Yeah. It's not a bad show.
It isn't bad. Well, it's not bad.
It's not bad.
I watched it for the first time this year, and I kind of liked
Really?
it.
Really? It was the first time?
It's the first time. I mean, so I'm watching it with no sort of like history with it. And so
Right.
it's not contextually something that in the time that it came out, obviously it was bold and it was a whole
Sure.
thing, of course, and sort of changing for the scope of TV. But I mean, thankfully we've moved the needle. And so watching it, I was like, there are some very redactive things on this.
Right. There are a lot of
Like
outdated
problematic things and whatever.
problematic and the lack of different races and all that.
Have you tried In Just Like That if you were a fan of Sex and the City?
I tried it because I wanted to watch Big Die. Spoiler.
Spoiler, it's not, I mean, at this point, if
Yeah.
you didn't know, hello.
Sorry.
Yeah.
And I did, and I laughed.
He was such a bad person in reality.
Right. I saw him last year.
You did?
Yes. I was at this, do you know Grandmaster Recorders in Hollywood?
No, what is
You
that?
would love it. It's so cute.
We'll have to go.
Yeah, we will. So it's this place that used to be a record studio. And
Oh,
then
that's
they
fun.
made it into a restaurant on the bottom and like a bar on the top. And there's like a little club area where you can rent out, whatever.
I love a repurpose, and I will acknowledge that it's kind of sad that business went out.
Yeah, fair.
You know?
But so I went there and I was eating with my friends, and all of a sudden I look next to me and I'm like, I know this guy. I know he's an actor or something. I know him from something. And then Jonathan looks over at him, and then we look at each other and we're like, because we both realized who it was.
And this was after you knew of the scandal?
Yeah, this was
Oh,
this was
gosh.
last year.
Yeah.
This was so
He had
was
an SA, which look up those abbreviations. I don't want to talk about that and trigger anyone, but
Yes.
there's things that he did that were not good, and you can read about those on your own, you know. But you saw him after, and we're like, ugh, scandal.
Yeah, and he was talking with somebody, and we kind of were trying to listen to what he was saying. Something about some sort of deal and some sort of
Yeah, he's very much still working.
Yeah, he's very much still in dub.
It's interesting how white men can just sort of do that, isn't it?
Yeah,
The Mel Gibson of it all, if you will.
yeah, slay.
And that is not how we're going to end the podcast. I don't want to end it on that exact note. But today is about family and friends, and what I am thankful for is that we could spend some moments together before you go on your trip, because I'm not going to see you over the holiday season.
I know.
I mean, we'll probably FaceTime and stuff or whatever.
We definitely will.
We'll definitely talk.
But you are definitely a person that I am thankful for in my life.
Same.
I just want to take a serious moment to say that and
Right.
to let everybody know who's listening to this. If you have the privilege of having Adam as a friend, you know what it feels like. You are so genuine.
Definitely deleting this.
No, you are so genuine. You are so kind. You are so loving, and you're so fun to be silly with.
Oh, good.
And you've been a good friend of mine for the past 3 or 4 years now. And I have no notes on our friendship.
Aw.
I really appreciate you, and I really appreciate that I can just come over like this and be like, hey, let's do a podcast episode. And you're like, fine, whatever, let's try it, see if it works.
Yeah.
And take me to Wendy's.
Yeah.
Again, we have sponsorship possibilities, potential, and Wendy's is at the forefront. We love you, Wendy's, as well as Diet Coke. Any big capitalistic corporate America thing that wants me, I am ready and willing to discuss, and I love your products, and thank you for Thanksgiving. Brick by brick, bite by bite, sip by sip, you should buy, as in B-U-Y, B-U-Y, B-U-Y.
Oh, I love you so much. I mean, the feeling I have for you, I can't encapsulate in 10 seconds. You bring a lot of light to my life. You are somebody that is so giving, and you are always looking out for not only my best interest, but anyone around you. Arya will drop everything in the drop of a hat, and she will recommend people for any job. She's always trying to set people up on dates. She's like a little matchmaker. I mean, she's like all things. She wears all hats. You're one of the hardest working people that I know. And you also, I hope in the next year I can continue to encourage you to not beat yourself up and to just open your channels up of creativity, because what a brilliant human you are. Your mind is unmatched. It really is. You're so funny, and you're a really, really strong writer. And I can't wait to see some of your writing in this next year.
I love you so much.
I love you, baby girl. And now we're going to let everyone have a wonderful holiday, or a shitty one, wherever you're at, Scream. Oh, I was going to ask if you break the wishbone In the turkey. That's what I was going to ask.
That's a white people thing.
Slay. Did you like that half better?
I did.
Okay.
What a wonderful, cozy episode. I hope you enjoyed Arya Govil as much as I did. As always, that is my very close friend, and I can't wait to have her back on again, probably in the new year. So, to you and yours, I hope you have a wonderful holiday. You're family to me. If you're here at the podcast, you're family to me. I have family members that are on the show, and anyone that listens, you are part of the show and the family as well. Now, normally we end the podcast now with a mantra of the week, and there's nothing more slay, more mantra than acknowledging the land that we're on and that it's stolen. And the true history and origin of this holiday is not really just a place of gratitude, it's a falsity. You know, people talk about how these Puritan colonizers had their first great Thanksgiving, and it was in great part by a wonderful tribe that was nearby that was so gracious, and that there were great relations between the two, both the people that were from abroad and the people that were here already. And I want to acknowledge that that is propaganda as much as like Christopher Columbus and to an extent the American dream and the way that people were recruited to come here to the States. All of this was to push the agenda of having a Puritan settlement, and all of that really isn't discussed enough. We really don't give enough light to the fact that this is stolen land. So just recognize what land you're on today. And I would like to give a shout out to the Wampanoag tribe that, you know, was touted so often throughout, especially my childhood, as this wonderful tribe that was peaceful and like made the first Thanksgiving happen. And all of these kids are running around with like, you know, pilgrim garments and Native American alleged garments and like coloring them and doing all this craziness that isn't appropriate whatsoever. It's appropriation. It's not appropriate. That tribe still exists. They are the first people in the Noepi area, which is modern day Martha's Vineyard. They exist as they have for the past 10,000 years in that area, despite the efforts of the people that came in that they, you know, had this first Thanksgiving with. Those people tried their damnedest to, even after that harsh winter, which is what we talk about, we kind of stopped the history there on it. They tried to run them off the land. They tried to get rid of all of their rights as individuals, even though the land was stolen, and decimated the population through acts of war as well as through the diseases that were brought in by predominantly European individuals. So I just want to say love to the Wampanoag tribe and to all the unfortunate things that have happened previous to our history here. I sit in solitude on that. This isn't my favorite holiday, but I am thankful for the people that are in my life, and that includes you that are listening from home. And so for me, I choose this day as the thankfulness for what I have in my life, not the history of the nation. However you sit with it is how you sit with it. I'm not here to judge it or to tell you otherwise. Now that was sort of serious, so I'm going to give you a little tidbit that I cut from the episode with Arya, just to lighten the mood as you go into your day, your week ahead, and you will see me and hear me next week. Hope to see you back. I've had an hour, and thanks for spending it with me.
What would we name the musical that we've now made? Wizard HD? Wizard ADHD? Wiz ADHD?
Bricks by a bitch.
Bricks by a bitch?
Bricks by
Bricks
bitch.
by a bitch. Coming over here and eating the sticks.
Oh
Why
my
are
God.
they eating sticks?
Oh my god, Adam, do you rap?
I was giving Hamilton.
Oh.
Not Hamilton of fun, but Hamil some of fun.
Ba-dum-bum, ba-dum-bum. Can you just have me on for the rest of the time that you do this podcast as sound effects? Boop.
Everything you're saying is amazing, but I'm loving the sound effects.
Yeah.
They're adding so much to the element of surprise in this, especially if I'm just saying something so like in the middle of a sentence. If I'm like, so today I, and then I just don't finish the sentence. Give me another song for Brick by Bitch.
I don't know, man.
I feel the creative genius. It's stewing
Okay.
in there.
Okay. Bitches be brickin'. Bitches be thinkin'. Bitches be brickin'. Bitches be wickin'. Bitches be wicked.
Sickening.
Quit cutting up.